Hi, welcome back to another Crypto Day video. So before I start, it's the 29th of April today. It's another weekly Crypto Roundup video, the 10th one today. Now, apologies, this should have gone out on the 26th, as I explained in the comments of my last video. I've been away this weekend, so I didn't get a chance to do it on Friday afternoon. Anyway, Sunday evening now, and I'm just doing a quick roundup video. Apologies also for my voice. I've been struggling with a bit of a cold and sore throat the last few days, so if you can't hear me, I am losing my voice a bit, so apologies for that. But it's just going to be a quick update video today, so we're not going to be going on for too long. Anyway, before we jump into the stories, let's take a quick glance at the markets. And as you can see, market cap at the moment 435 billion. That's up substantially on last week. I think we were on around the 370 billion mark. We had bit of a kind of increase, and then we've had a pullback, and then a nice steady kind of increase, and we've seen some nice consolidation over the last sort of 4 or 5 days. Some coins have been doing particularly well. I noticed that Neo's had a great day today, up 20% today, but most coins having a pretty good week and following that similar kind of trend. But we have seen some coins sort of like pulling away. EOS has had a really good kind of week or two. Now Cardano and other ones had a really good week, but yeah, Neo the standout performer today. But over the last week, Tron's had another good week as well. We've seen some little breaks away from Bitcoin's kind of pattern. So the altcoins are really starting to kind of surge up again a little bit. Bitcoin seems to be kind of trapped around this kind of like 9,350 kind of mark. It will be really interesting to see if it can get up to the sort of 10,000. If it can break the 10,000 mark in the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks, that'll be, I think, a really interesting point. And I think if it does do that, then we're going to see, a real kind of like steep rise in the next kind of month or so. But as I said in the last video, we'll have to see whether, this is a sustained kind of bull run. Now, all the feeling that I'm kind of getting from the kind of markets and everything like that, it seems very kind of positive. All the kind of talk seems quite kind of bullish. We've had this for a couple of weeks now, had a decent kind of rise, a little bit of a pullback, and now we're in that sort of consolidation, sort of sideways kind of trend. But we are, still seeing some kind of gains across the board, and nice to see some of the altcoins sort of like breaking away from the exact kind of pattern of a Bitcoin. So that's really nice to see. Market's doing quite well, so long may it continue. Anyway, before I lose my voice, let's jump over to the first story. And that is, it seems ages ago now, but it's the MyEtherWallet hack. And I felt quite sorry for them. I was actually, it's a wallet that I've used. It's an online wallet, MyEtherWallet.com. I had some tokens. I think I had Pillar and a bit of storage in that, and I actually used it. I don't use it a lot, but I was actually using it on the day that it was actually kind of hacked. And the website itself wasn't hacked, but it was a DNS server hijacking. So I felt rather sorry for them, but people basically, some DNS servers were kind of hijacked, and some people who were trying to go to the site, they were going to the correct site, but were being redirected to kind of a phishing site. And the telltale symbol is often when the security certificate is invalid or needs kind of updating, and that often pops up. But I think people occasionally see these on legitimate sites where something hasn't been updated as quickly as possible, and they tend to kind of click through and say that everything's okay. And unfortunately, there was $150,000 worth of Ethereum or kind of tokens was stolen during this kind of attack. And I do feel for MyEtherWallet because it's a really good kind of service, and it's not something they're directly kind of responsible for. Downline sort of DNS server hack. So that was very unfortunate for them. But what's bearing in mind that if you are using an online service, make sure you kind of bookmark it so you always go to the correct site and not following a link. But also make sure that the security certificates are there present on the kind of website and are up to date, and it's not thrown out any kind of errors. But you have to be careful of these things. It's a real shame because as we're trying to kind of drive adoption, web wallets are an easy way of people kind of like getting involved in kind of cryptocurrencies and using them. And I think we'll see more and more of these kind of hacks in the future, unfortunately. But yeah, be careful whenever you're using kind of a web wallet or anything like that. So the next story is the Parity hack. And when I say hack, it was an accidental kind of hack. So a developer that was working with a wallet library on Parity, which was used by the Parity wallet, managed to accidentally break the kind of library, and it locked funds out for a lot of people that had a multi-sig wallets on this particular kind of platform. And there was a proposal, which you can see here, I'll put all these links below, that there should be a patched version restored onto the blockchain, which would then free up these kind of these funds, and these funds would then be accessible for people with these multi-signature kind of wallets. And there was voting on this. It ended, when was it? A few days ago now. On the voting ended on the 24th, 29th, so 5 days ago now, and it was voted that no, they would not basically roll out this kind of fix to allow people to get these kind of funds. So it was 55 to 40 basically, and the rest of the people didn't really kind of care either way. But it was quite an interesting story, because there were some articles, and we'll come on to this with the next story, but there were some articles that suggested that this would result in a hard fork. It wasn't necessarily just sensationalist journalism. There were a lot of people that have been involved in the project for a long time who thought that this may well result in a kind of hard fork, where one team kind of implements this this change, which allows people to get their kind of funds back, and then the network or the blockchain kind of forks off from that kind of point, where you have people supporting both chains. So it will be interesting to see if that happens. It doesn't seem to be happening immediately. As I said, I haven't really been online the last couple of days. I've been away, but yeah, it's not something I've kind of come across yet. But it will be interesting to see how the community kind of handles this situation, because in the past, obviously, with the hard fork between Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, when there was the DAO hack, there are people within the kind of community that would really like to see this implemented, and there are some that really wouldn't like it implemented under kind of any circumstances. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out over the following week or so. But anyway, that brings us quite nicely onto the next story, which is, and this happened a few days ago as well. So this was Vitalik Buterin. So he's the founder and kind of like core developer, was the founder and initial developer of Ethereum, and he is boycotting this year's consensus, which is a huge blockchain conference. It's probably the largest one in the world, and it's run by kind of CoinDesk. But he tweeted out basically a few reasons why he wasn't going to be going there. Now, the initial one was that he said that CoinDesk is recklessly complicit in enabling giveaway scams, and basically what happened, there was an article on the CoinDesk site that was basically linking to a phishing kind of website. It was a bit embarrassing. So the author had mistakenly linked to the wrong website, where somebody was trying to get user kind of details with one of these kind of like fake giveaway kind of websites. And he's talked a bit on Twitter about this, that companies need to be really aware of this, and it was quite embarrassing for kind of CoinDesk that they then ended up publishing an article that linked to one of these kind of phishing sites. So he started with this, but I think it goes a little bit deeper than just that particular thing, because he then goes on. So AmiseGo, which was linked to, or the phishing site was linked to, then stuck up basically for him and said, well, they weren't going to go, they were going to like boycott it as well. But then he came out with these other reasons. So he came up with 4 reasons, and then the second one was that what we were talking about just now, which was the EIP 999, which was the Parity hack. He said that basically their reporting of it was like awful, that it was quite sensationalist, and that it was saying that there were the core developers, or like the developers were kind of loggerheads, and there was definitely going to be kind of a hard fork. And it was, again, it was not a great kind of article, and it's now been kind of like changed. And they reached out to some of the kind of core developers who then replied, and their replies, you can see here, Peter, his reply then wasn't put into the article. Now, CoinDesk say the article had already gone to press. Anyway, he had real issues with this, Vitalik, and also he has like an issue with their reporting policies. So he has this kind of big issue that he was like, they're designed to trap you, and you can say, I want this to be off the record, and then they can decide that it's on the record. Now, to be fair to CoinDesk, this is quite a similar kind of process to a lot of paper kind of like products, and newspapers and stuff like that have very similar kind of procedures. So I think basically he doesn't like them. This was maybe, this last story about the AmiseGo thing was maybe the last kind of straw. And then the fourth one was that he was like, it cost $2,000 or $3,000 to attend. Now, I'm sure he's not having to kind of cough up for that. I'm sure somebody would be probably inviting him. But anyway, that's up to you whether it's good value or not. But it's quite an interesting article. So anyway, he's going to be boycotting this year's consensus, and AmiseGo won't be there either. Whether other people will follow suit, I don't know. As I said, I haven't really been keeping up with the news the last couple of days when I've been away. Anyway, before my voice gives up completely, let's jump over to this week's giveaway. So we'll be giving away a Zen Cash this week. This is last week's YouTube video. So let's just find the amounts. We've got 22 unique commenters and just click start. Okay, so the winner this week is Kira Mocky. So let's just go and see how much Zen Cash that is. So I'll just grab my calculator. So Zencash 42.14, so 10 divided by 42.14 is 0.237, so let's say 0.24 Zencash. Now what I will do is just pause the video very quickly and go and get my wallet up on the other machine, and then I will be back. Okay, so I've just grabbed this address and put it in here, and the amount we're sending is 0.24. And we will send that over now. So just click withdraw. Do you really want to send this transaction? Yes. The transaction has been successfully sent. So congratulations to Kira Mocky. So next week we will be doing a giveaway on Neutron Coin. The website is neutroncoin.com. I'll link this below. But if you're interested in entering the giveaway for next week, $10 of Neutron. It's one of the coins that I stake, so it's another staking coin. Put your Neutron address in a comment below. Ask me a question if you want, and I will be back hopefully tomorrow with a staking update video if my voice hasn't gone. But I will be back next Friday afternoon with next week's Roundup giveaway. And as I said, Neutron Coin is the giveaway for next week. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Apologies for my voice and the delay in the video, but hopefully I will catch you on the next video. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.